Ukrainian defense forces have withdrawn from the city of Sudzha in the Kursk region, according to a map published by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on March 16th. It shows that Ukrainian forces have regrouped along the state border, while Russian troops continue their offensive efforts. Rustem Umerov, Ukraine's Minister of Defense, clarified the current situation in the Kursk region to Fox News on Saturday.
Our defense forces, we continue to conduct the defensive operations, and we are keeping a significant number of kilometers of the enemy territory under control. There is, to preserve some availability of the forces and troops, we have conducted some planned redeployment to a more favorable defense lines. But at this stage, no unit of the defense forces is encircled, and statements about the thousands of Ukrainian servicemen that are encircled are not correct.
The first reports of a supposed encirclement of Ukrainian servicemen came from President Trump. Later that day, President Zelenskyy told journalists that Ukraine's Kursk operation had achieved its main objective of forcing Russian troops to shift focus from key fronts, including Kharkiv and Sumy. He noted that the operation helped ease pressure on Ukrainian defenses and stabilize the situation near Pokrovsk.
The Ukrainian side has a presence in the Kursk region. The encirclement of the Ukrainian military is a Putin lie. There is no encirclement of the Ukrainian military in the Kursk region. What kind of signals are these coming from the Russian side? I think that the Russian side wants to surround the Ukrainian military in the same direction, but on the territory of Ukraine.
President Trump plans to speak to Russia's leader, Putin, on Tuesday, March 18th, to discuss the ongoing peace talks. Trump told this to the press aboard Air Force One during a late flight from Florida to Washington.
We're doing pretty well, I think, with Russia. And we'll see if we have something to announce maybe by Tuesday. I'll be speaking to President Putin on Tuesday. And a lot of work's been done over the weekend. We want to see if we can bring that war to an end. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but I think we have a very good chance.
According to Reuters, the U.S. president was also asked about what concessions will be considered in the ceasefire negotiations.
And we'll be talking about land, we'll be talking about power plants, because that's it's a big question. But I think we have a lot of it already discussed very much by both sides.
You'll ask him
Ukraine and Russia.
You'll ask him to
We're already talking about that, dividing up certain assets.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has outlined plans for a Western peacekeeping force of more than 10,000 troops for Ukraine. This was reported by The Times, citing government sources. During a video conference with EU and NATO leaders, Starmer reportedly secured backing from a significantly larger number of countries than the initial 3 that first proposed deploying ground troops. However, the UK and France are expected to provide the bulk of the force.
I convened the largest, strongest group of countries yet behind a just and lasting peace in Ukraine. We agreed we will keep increasing the pressure on Russia, keep the military aid flowing to Ukraine, and keep tightening the restrictions on Russia's economy to weaken Putin's war machine and bring him to the table. Our militaries will meet on Thursday this week here in the United Kingdom to put strong and robust plans in place to swing in behind a peace deal and guarantee Ukraine's future security.
According to a senior British government official, a larger group of nations is expected to support the peacekeeping mission in other ways, including with logistical and intelligence assistance. Ukraine has successfully tested and deployed its new long-range cruise missile, the Long Neptune. This was stated by President Zelenskyy on Telegram, adding that the weapon, developed as part of Ukraine's ongoing missile program, has a reported range of 1,000 kilometers. Some of the circulating reports posit that the new missile could have been used in repeated strikes on a Russian oil refinery in Tuapse. Reports indicate that the Long Neptune is a modification of domestically produced Neptune cruise missile, originally designed for targeting naval assets. The missile's adaptation for extended-range strikes on land targets marks a significant advancement in Ukraine's defense capabilities. The conditions Russia presented to agree to a ceasefire indicates that Moscow doesn't really want peace, believes the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Kaja Kallas. She stated this ahead of an EU foreign ministers meeting in Brussels.
Well, those conditions that they have presented, it shows that they don't really want peace, actually, because they are presenting as conditions all their ultimate goals that they want to achieve from the war.
We require from Ukraine unconditional position when we see so many conditions from Putin's side. And we see the real intent, and there is no place for peace in Putin's imperialist plan. That is obvious, and these actions show more than the words for themselves.
The United States has both a Plan A and a Plan B for ending Russia's war against Ukraine. This was stated by the Secretary of State Marco Rubio in an interview with Face the Nation on CBS News. According to him, the U.S. plan for achieving peace consists of 2 stages.
Plan A is get the shooting to stop so that we can move to Plan B, phase 2, which is have everybody at a table, maybe with some shuttle diplomacy, to figure out a way to permanently end this war in a way that's enduring and it respects everybody's needs and so forth.
Rubio stressed that no one is claiming the second step is easy, but it's impossible to reach without overcoming the first.
We move to the second phase, which is negotiating something more enduring and permanent. That will be hard. It will involve a lot of hard work, concessions from both sides, but it has to happen. This war cannot continue.
After the American proposal for a ceasefire, Russia stole almost another week conducting the war, stated President Zelenskyy in his evening address on Sunday.
After the talks in Jeddah and the American proposal for a ceasefire on the front line, Russia stole almost another week, a week of war that only Russia wants. We will do everything to further intensify diplomacy. We will do everything to make diplomacy effective. But every day now is about defending our independence, our state, and our people. We must remember it is the support of our army, all our defense and security forces, and our state that determines everything.
Zelenskyy also noted improvements in the supply of ammunition for European air defense systems and artillery, adding that Kyiv is preparing for the next Ramstein meeting that will take place in Brussels.
Defense Minister Umerov reported to me on the fulfillment of tasks related to air defense, missiles for Iris-T, NASAMS, and SAMP-T. There are good results in securing artillery contracts. Additional shells will be provided to our army. The defense minister also provided an update on the organization of the next Ramstein meeting. We are preparing for Brussels. We are also working on a concrete security guarantees system for Ukraine. This week, a meeting of military representatives took place in France, and a meeting in the UK is being prepared. The first steps towards security guarantees are being taken.
The Ukrainian Armed Forces repelled a massive Russian assault in the Siversk direction, reported the Luhansk Operational Tactical Group. The Luhansk command posted footage on March 11th showing a massive Russian military convoy amassing and moving in the direction of defender positions. Ultimately, Ukrainian defenders from the 30th and 54th Mechanized, as well as the 80th Air Assault Brigade, managed to destroy 14 armored vehicles, 1 tank and damaging another, 3 buggies, and 2 quad bikes. The total number of Russian troops eliminated in the attack tally at around 159 killed or wounded. Ukraine will soon receive nearly 3.5 billion euros in the third payment under the Ukraine Facility Program, reported the Council of the EU. In the official statement, it says that Kyiv has met 13 reform requirements set by the European Council to receive the funds. These include reforms to increase the use of renewable energy, enhance the independence of the National Energy Regulator, and streamline border crossing procedures in line with EU standards. Additionally, Ukraine has adopted a strategy for agricultural and rural development, which includes demining farmland and continued efforts to identify strategic and critical raw materials. Ukraine has received new military support from Germany. According to updated data on the aid list, the latest package includes a wide range of equipment, weaponry, and supplies, reinforcing Ukraine's defensive and offensive capabilities. In particular, Berlin delivered 3 Gepard self-propelled anti-aircraft guns with 10,000 rounds of ammunition, 24 MRAP armored vehicles, mine-clearing and border patrol vehicles, missiles for the Iris-T SLM medium-range anti-aircraft system, 5,000 rounds of 122 and 155 mm ammunition, as well as supplies for 120 mm mortar. Ukraine allegedly deployed a new interceptor drone to target Russian UAVs, reported Russian Telegram channels on March 17th. On Monday, footage started disseminating, reportedly showing a Ukrainian unidentified drone noting that this particular type of UAV has not been previously observed. The unknown UAV was seen attempting to take down a Russian recon drone.